Hi, warriors. I think that I am live and I look different again. I got tired of the braids because I loved them. They were so like beautiful, but laying down at night is like, I'm like having to move my hair, move my head, and I'm just like, okay, I'm tired of this. I want to be comfortable. So me and my boyfriend actually spent 2 hours taking it out on our own last night, which is kind of funny, but we got it done. And my hair just looks like a poof ball for now, but I'll fix that later. My head's a little sore, so I am just rolling with my puff ball. So I hope you guys had a wonderful Thanksgiving. If you guys have celebrated Thanksgiving, if you're here in the U.S., to be honest, I know nothing about geography, history, like not really well anyway. So I don't know if I'm pretty sure it's just an American thing. So if you're in the U.S. and you celebrated Thanksgiving, I hope you guys had a wonderful holiday. I hope you guys had a good time with your family, and I hope you guys had lots of yummy food and made really awesome memories. So today I wanted to come live and do a training. I know I'm early. I know it's only 12, and I usually 12 EST, but I usually come 1:30 EST. But my daughter has an eye exam today, so I needed to come early so that I could be done and get her there in time. So I figured, well, we're not going to skip the training this week, but we'll just do it a little early. And if anybody needs to catch the replay, then it'll be available to do that. So with that being said, if you're here with me live, if you are catching the replay, let me know, say, hey, let me know how you enjoyed today's training, if it was helpful, if it was relevant, if it was valuable to you. I love your feedback. Or if you freaking hated it, if it sucked, if you're like, Heather, this is the worst training, let me know. I want to know so that I can stop doing things you guys don't like, right? Like, but if you love it, I want to keep doing more of the things that you love. So I love your feedback. It's very helpful. And I love just kind of chatting with you in the comments, or if I see your comments live, which I'm actually going to go ahead and do right now because I think I see a comment, so that I can shout it out and say, hey, hi, Barbara. So glad you're here. Oh, gosh. Okay, now I can see the comments and we're not going to hear myself talk. So that's good. So, hey, Barbara. Hey, anybody that is here with me chatting, say, hey, let me know so I can chat with you. Let me know if you have any questions as well so that I can answer those questions. And I can see the comments now. We're all good. But today's training, I wanted to talk about something that will help you guys to create more energy and more joy in your life. So if you are struggling with maybe a negative mindset, negative attitude, or you're just having trouble staying motivated, staying energized, whatever the case may be, right? We might just be feeling dragged down, a little sluggish, a little under the weather, but we're not sick. It's just like in a bad mood, right? We're like maybe a little moody. We're maybe in a little bit of a bad rut, and it's causing us to feel maybe lazy or sluggish. We don't really have a lot of energy, and we're maybe experiencing or having more bad days than good days, right? So what I wanted to do today is today's training is, if you resonated with that, if that's kind of where you're at, if that's a challenge or you're feeling a bit stuck there, then this training is going to be for you. You are going to want to take notes. You are going to want to watch it again. You're going to love this training. This training literally changed my life in terms of how I work with my mind and how I allow my mind to create joy and energy in my life. So with that being said, we'll go ahead and get started. The whole thing about creating consistent daily energy and joy in your life is building new habits of the mind. Okay. And the reason that this is basically the thing that has to be done in order to create a new experience is because our thought, which is of the mind, right, create an emotion, right? So, and I'll give you guys like an example, right? I am unloved, or I am undeserving of being loved, or I don't deserve to have help, or whatever the case may be, right? These are a thought. These are a thought or a fear or a worry, and it's of the mind that leads to an emotion, right? Or maybe I can't do anything right, or why can't I enjoy self-care, or something like this, right? We think this thought and it creates an emotion. The emotion might be frustrated, annoyed, sad, depressed, anxious, fearful, right? So it creates this emotion, and then it usually leads to a behavior. So, for example, if you are having trouble with productivity, or let's say you are having trouble with feeling fulfilled in being productive, right? So either A, you're having trouble being productive because you're not doing anything, or B, you're doing things and it's not fulfilling you, right? So in either way, we have that thought, it creates this feeling of frustration, or maybe we're really annoyed with ourselves. So the behavior then is we don't have fun doing our self-care, or we avoid it altogether, right? And then that is the experience, that is the result that we have. So our thoughts inevitably create our experience. That means the quickest and the easiest way to create more joy and more energy is noticing what is draining your energy and changing your mindset habits on it, right? So I'm going to give you guys a few examples of different scenarios that this could be potentially happening, right? And I'll use the 5 main areas of life. So the first area that this could be draining you or dragging you down would be like your physical or your mental health or your well-being, right? So you might be experiencing something extreme like an autoimmune disease, or you might be experiencing trouble with weight gain or weight loss, right? Like you might be losing too much weight or gaining too much weight, or just having some health concerns, or mentally you might be emotionally overwhelmed, or you might have panic and anxiety, right? You might have some emotional things going on. So you've got like maybe a mental or a physical challenge that you're experiencing with your well-being, and the energy is low and we're upset because we're so focused on maybe our diagnosis, or we're focused on why we don't feel good. We're focused on what's not going well with our health journey or our well-being, right? But the way the mindset habit that we shift it to create more energy and more joy is to focus on what we do have, right? Do you have your eyesight? Do you have a beating heart? Are you breathing naturally, right? These things that some people don't have, right? Some people don't have sight. Some people don't have hearing, right? Some people don't have certain things that you do, or some people can't breathe on their own, right? They have, whether it's because they were born that way, or because they were in an accident, or because of something, health related, right? Some people don't have a capability of walking. Some people don't have a capability of doing X, Y, and Z, and you might, but you might also be experiencing something challenging with your health as well, right? So the mindset shift, and it actually starts to align you to a healthier way of being, is when you start focusing on what is going well with your health, or your whether it's physical health or mental health, right? What is going well? Maybe your mental health, you're kind. Maybe you're patient, or maybe you're giving and nurturing, right? Maybe these are good things about your behaviors instead of focusing on what is going wrong with your behaviors, right? Maybe you're too trusting or too naive or whatever, right? You might be focused on what you think is wrong with you instead of focusing on your good qualities, or the good qualities of the things that you think that are wrong with you, right? Like, why is it okay to be naive? Why is it okay to be unhealthy, or having a mental challenge, or having a physical challenge? Why is it okay that you're experiencing that? Because maybe you're learning something, maybe you're protecting yourself, maybe this, that, and the other thing, right? So it's about questioning, or it's about, number one, bringing awareness to what you might be complaining about or focusing on, right? Because energy will flow where attention goes. So if your attention is on why you're in pain, or why you're bad, or why things are going wrong, then that is the energy you will start to create. And it can create this sluggish, bogged down feeling, because the energy of frustration, annoyance, and anger tends to drag people down. And whether it motivates them to do something, or it causes them to shut down completely, which those are usually the two cases. So even if anger motivates you, you're not going to have a good time. It's not going to be a joyful experience, and you're going to be left feeling unfulfilled, even though you did all the work that somebody told you to do to make you feel better, right? So you did everything that you were told to do to feel better, but you did it with anger, you did it with frustration, or the mentality that this isn't going to work, or it's going to go bad, or something's not going to be okay, or I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not capable of making this work for me. So then we're leading our energy with anger, and then we end up feeling unfulfilled, right? So either way, whether we're letting our anger and emotions motivate us to do the task, or we're letting it completely shut us down to avoid the task, either way, we're going to end up feeling unfulfilled, right? So it's about the mentality that we go about having with it, right? Same for relationships. If you're in a relationship, or whether it's a romantic relationship, you have a child, or with your mother, your parents, your caretakers, right, or your coworkers, relationships in general, if you are hyper focused on what they do wrong, why they're a problem, why they mess things up, if you're hyper focused on their faults or their flaws or their mistakes, then that's what you will notice, and that is what you will maybe call out, or that's how you'll behave around them, or that's what you will tell them about, right? Because that's where the focus is. But if you're focused on why they're good, why they're helpful, why they're useful, why they deserve love, why they deserve respect, why you enjoy their company, why you enjoy the time you have with them, if you focus on that, that's what you'll express to them. That's how you'll feel when you're around them. That is the behavior, that is the experience that you'll have when you're with that person, right? So it is a practice of noticing what you think is wrong and practicing shifting it into what is going well. What are you learning? Why is it okay that it's wrong? Why is it okay that it's bad? And what's going well, right? So what's going well? And again, I like that that idea or that tip of, well, if you can't even think about what's going well, why is it okay that it's not going well, right? That will even shift your energy. When you start to be okay with what's not going well, that is a big thing to shift your energy, because sometimes it's easier to look at, to try to convince yourself or to talk to yourself in a way that helps you understand why it's okay that things aren't going your way or going as expected, than it is to look for the positive in the situation, right? But either way, you're still looking for a positive, even if you're looking for the positive in the shit that's happening, right? So it's just one of those things. It can go two different ways. And the more you have, the more tools you have to do that, the easier it kind of becomes. And then it's just left up to practice, right? So now I'm going to teach you guys a little bit of a tool through these steps, through this process, that is going to help you have the habit replacer, right? So we've got to start, if you've got a habit of focusing on why things are bad, things are going to go wrong, why it's not fun, why it's not enjoyable, why people aren't good, or why your job sucks, or why money is sucking your soul away. Like if you're focused on those things, yes, tools, Becky, I love it. Yes, so the habit replacer tools, if your current habit is focusing on this end of the scale and you want to replace that habit of a negative thought pattern that is creating low energy and stress and unfulfillment, right? If that's what you're experiencing, the habit tool, the habit replacing tool, is literally just noticing when you're complaining. And the best way to notice, sometimes, because here's the thing, sometimes you don't notice that you're complaining when you're complaining because it's such a habitual habit, right? So the best way to start kind of noticing when you're doing it is notice how you feel. Constantly, something that helped me is asking myself, how do I feel? And I'll tell you, I still to this day have a reminder that goes off in my phone every hour that asks myself, how am I feeling? How do you feel? Check in with yourself. How are you feeling? And it's not as relevant to me a year or whatever it has been later, but I still like to think about it, because in the beginning, it was such a helpful tool to help me understand my emotional triggers, to help me understand what upset me, to understand these things. So having maybe a reminder or something, a sticky note, something that is constantly making you think of the question, how am I feeling? This is going to help you. And then you can kind of work backwards, right? If a thought created a feeling and you're feeling negative, or you're feeling angry, or you're feeling frustrated, you might ask yourself in a curious way, why am I upset? Why am I frustrated, right? And then that leads back to, oh, I messed this up, or they messed this up, or I hate my job, or you figure out what you're complaining about. Then you take some time to maybe journal or write about why it's okay that you hate your job, or what can you love about your job, or why is it okay that the person you're romantically attached to is doing, made a mistake, or why are they good, right? Like either focusing on why it's okay that they're not perfect or not good, whether it's your job, your health, or your relationship, or whatever the case may be. And then also trying to look for what is going well, what is okay, right? So constantly checking in with how you feel, and then trying to trace back where that feeling came from. Oh, I'm feeling frustrated. Oh, I'm feeling overwhelmed. Oh, I'm not getting anything done. Or, oh, I did something and it didn't bring me joy, right? Or, oh, my boyfriend pissed me off because of this. Or, oh, my job, I hate my job because it's not what I want to be doing. I want to be doing something else, right? So then you've got this opportunity to take that complaint and do a journaling exercise. Why is it okay that it sucks? And what is going well instead? And then you've got a different mentality on it, and you're going to immediately see why you can feel more fulfilled, why you can feel more joyful, and why you can feel more energized in something that usually drains your energy. I hope this makes sense. I hope this is helpful. I hope you guys enjoyed today's training, and I hope that you kind of like this. Again, and here's the thing, it's not going to happen overnight. But if you're complaining a lot, if you're in a negative mindset, more than not, that's your roadmap to something different, right? So it might suck depending on where you are in this journey, but here's the thing, it's going to be your roadmap. Getting you from point A to point B is going to depend. If you're already having these challenges, it's not necessarily a bad thing, because guess what? You actually have the roadmap to overcoming the challenge. It might take you a month. It might take you a month or two to kind of build awareness to what you complain about, build awareness to what drains your energy, and practice changing the way that you feel about it so that you can experience it differently. It might not happen overnight, but you have a roadmap and you have these tools. It's all within you, and you carry the answers to the direction you want to go into. Just having these tools, setting the intention to notice when you don't feel good, and get curious enough to go backwards and figure out what made you feel badly to begin with, right? So I hope this was helpful. You are welcome, Barbara. I'm so glad you're here and you stayed for the training and you were able to catch the whole thing. So again, let me know how you guys enjoyed today's training. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Let me know if it made sense, if it was helpful. I love hearing your feedback. And again, let me know if it sucks. Let me know if you're like, this is not helpful, this is not useful at all, Heather, you're wrong. I want to know what you guys like, what you guys don't like. And I love just hearing from you guys in the comments. I love replying to them and just saying, hey, chatting with you guys. So yeah, let me know if this was helpful. Let me know if you guys enjoyed this, if you are excited to use the habit replacing tool. I think it would be really awesome for you guys to just take a little bit and review your life, review the big areas, your health, your relationships, your money, your career, your personal or spiritual development, right? These are the 5 big areas of life. I think it would be helpful for you to just review and give them like a rating, like how do you feel about these areas of your life, and where are you unhappy, and how can you start to be okay with the places that you're unhappy and start to look at them a little bit differently so that you can create more energy and more joy, because those who are grateful receive more, and those who are not lose what they have, right? So if we are not in our dream job and we're complaining about our dream job, we could potentially show up not as our best self and lose the job, right? So we might lose it because we hate it so much, but instead, if we could just enjoy it and make the best out of the situation, what could happen is somebody notices our good attitude and an opportunity shows up, and now your dream job is handed to you, right? Because of your actions and because of the way you decided to experience a job that you didn't want, right? So it's all about these choices. Great things, miracles can happen when you choose to be okay in the hard challenges, the uncomfortable. When you choose to be okay and focus on what's going well and focus on why it's okay that it's not going exactly the way that you hoped it to, right? That is when miracles can happen. That is when opportunities can open up, right? So again, maybe you're in a relationship and it's not in the best state of being. You start telling your partner that you love them for what is good about them, and now all of a sudden they want to take more care of you. Now all of a sudden they want to spend more time with you because you're not constantly telling them what you hate about them or what they make you mad about, right? Same for relationships. If you're unhealthy or if you're feeling unhealthy, right? If you start focusing on what is healthy about you, you start to feel healthier. And then all of a sudden your body starts to heal those parts of yourself that are not healthy because you start to align to it. Instead of degenerate, you start to regenerate because you're focused on what's going well. It's just, it's simple, but it doesn't make it easy. And it doesn't mean that there won't be a little bit of work involved. Okay. So that's all I'm saying is notice how you feel. work a little bit backwards to figure out what made you feel that way, right? And a good way to do that is look at the big 5 areas. Where are you unhappy? Figure out why you can be okay with the things that you are unhappy about and what is good about them, and start to really focus on that. Start to not allow yourself to complain about it and only focus on what's going well, so that you can start attracting miracles, opportunities, more energy, and more joy into your day-to-day life. So yay, Becky, I'm glad you love that. Yes, that's all I've got for you guys. I'm going to hop off here. If you guys have any questions, if you guys want to chat about this or give me your feedback, you can message me, put them in the comments, and I'll get back to you guys later. I got to go get ready, get me and the little girl ready for her eye exam. Wish me luck. And I will see you guys next week, same-ish time, an hour later, whatever. Right, Tuesdays in the afternoon in Eastern Standard Time is the general time. Yes, grateful for you for being here, Becky. I'm so glad it was helpful, and I look forward to hearing feedback from you all, whether it's in Messenger or on the comments below. And I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day and week, and we will talk soon. And I just hope this is helpful, and I'll see you guys later.